What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I want to tackle the age-old question whether or not content creators are destroying Call of Duty. And honestly, I could probably expand this to outside of Call of Duty, as there are many content creators that are destroying the landscapes of very different games and different genres, but I want to focus solely on Call of Duty today. I want to keep it very one-track mind here with Call of Duty. So are Call of Duty content creators or content creators that explore the Call of Duty franchise destroying this game? In short answer, yeah. Not everybody, of course. There are some really good content creators out there. There's people like Exclusive Ace, Nero Cinema, Blame Truth. I've talked about them before, and I'll continue to highlight them. They're not out here trying to push you to buy microtransactions. They're not out here pushing the battle pass. They're not out here trying to showcase the newest bundle that they purchased. They're being pretty smart with their content. They have some integrity, and they're not trying to do anything other than make Call of Duty better. They point out the flaws, they give credit when credit's due, and I think that's fair. However, there's a majority of other content creators around YouTube, whether it's streamers or YouTubers in general, that like to highlight the microtransactions in Call of Duty and then turn around and complain about the issues within the game. And what they fail to realize is they're directly contributing to the issues that they complain about in the game when they buy the microtransactions, when they support the tactics from Activision and from the developers to not improve the game. They're the first ones out there buying the battle pass and grinding it, but they're also the first people out there saying the game is bad. Well, which is it? Is it worthy of your money, or is the game bad? And that's the problem here, is content creators that make enough money where buying microtransactions, buying battle passes don't really bother them, then you have no incentive to try to improve the game because you just get that money back in a single stream anyways. So what's the point? The problem too is, and I don't think these streamers necessarily realize it, or maybe they do, but their influence when they buy a battle pass, when they grind through a battle pass, when they purchase a new bundle, goes to their viewers. And those viewers then feel a little left out. They get a little FOMO. And then they too buy the battle pass or buy the bundles or buy the microtransactions so that they can replicate their favorite streamer, their favorite player, their favorite YouTuber. And that's problematic. And that's exactly what Call of Duty is going for. That's what they want. That's why they allow people to upload Call of Duty, is they use it as a marketing tactic. And all this is marketing so Call of Duty can increase their sales and their revenues year in and year out. And that's smart on Call of Duty's side, but what streamers don't realize is they're extremely influential to some younger audience members, and those younger audience members who don't necessarily have the purchase control that people my age do, will just go out and spend money that their mommy and daddy give them, and buy these things that continue to feed into the problem that Call of Duty has, which is an absolute 100% quality issue. Call of Duty right now is a passionless project, but it is consistently rewarded for the lack of passion, for the lack of innovation, for the lack of quality that it presents to the community year in and year out. And it's getting pretty out of hand. Modern Warfare 2 is a perfect example of a game that was all fluff and no impact whatsoever. People are not going to remember anything from the MW2 era. Warzone 2 even. These games were constantly ridiculed, constantly criticized, and yet were extremely profitable. There's no denying the amount of money that Call of Duty made over the last year with Modern Warfare 2, and it's extremely problematic. And it honestly starts and ends with content creators. When you go out and you buy things and you reward these developers at every single turn for the hopes that maybe you will get invited to one of these events. So you're intrinsically motivated to do so that you can go to these events and be rewarded for your commitment, loyalty to this company. I don't really know what you're motivated by, but I don't want to get invited to these studios and hear the puff piece that somebody over at Activision is trying to give me. Yeah, it's cool for the experience. It'd be interesting, but they would never answer the questions that I'd be interested in asking, which is simply, why aren't your games better? Why is it that games from 2012, 10 years ago, running better than games of today? Why is it that these older games don't have issues like packet burst? Why do these older games not have issues like connectivity? Why is it that there's no community anymore? Why is it that your player base is diminishing and dwindling every single year? Why is it that it seems to be more of just a microtransaction simulator than an actual game? Where did the experience of Call of Duty go? These are the hardcore questions you'd have to ask them, and they wouldn't have the answers because all of it is rooted in greed. And they're not going to flat out tell you, well, we make more money with this current model. It's very evident they make more money with this current model, but they're not going to flat out tell you that. And that's the problem with these content creators, is they're motivated to go get this footage so then they can build up their own bank account, and they are themselves fueled by greed. And that's the problem. That's the issue. All of this is a gigantic toxic circle of greed. The content creators are greedy, and the company's greedy, and they all feed each other, and they all help each other out. And you know who loses out? Not the content creators, because they're getting the money that they so desperately crave. Not Call of Duty, because they're consistently reporting record revenues. No, it's you, the player. It's this player base. It's this community that's left behind by people's greed. And this is the issue with content creators. This is the issue with the landscape that we live in right now across all video games. This isn't just a Call of Duty problem. I said that earlier. You could extrapolate it to the sports franchise games that I've talked about before. This is obviously an issue there too. So I don't know what it's going to take for there to be a shift, but it definitely has to start within this community. It has to start with us either pushing back against content creators, pushing back against Activision. I'm not really sure, but I would expect you hold people to a little bit higher standard, because you have to ask sometimes, what is somebody's motivation? Why are they doing what they're doing? Even ask me that. Hold me to that high standard as well. Whenever I put out a video, maybe ask yourself the question, why is Ferocity putting this out? Is he putting it out because he's intrinsically motivated, or is he putting it out because he actually cares? And honestly, I want to maintain a high level of integrity within this community. I want you guys to know that anytime I make a video, I'm just trying to give you my honest opinion. I'm not intrinsically motivated to try to get in with Activision because I don't frankly care. This isn't my end game. I don't have a very big channel. At the end of the day, I just want to see Call of Duty get better. That's what I want. I want video games to be fun for myself again. I want reasons to get my friends back onto video games so we can have those fun times that we used to share. And that's kind of what I miss, right? Is the only times that I really get a chat with my friends that I used to play video games with is if we find some weird indie game to play. That's not how it is anymore. We don't get to sit and play for 6 hours on Call of Duty because the games aren't good anymore. So you lose that connection, you lose that camaraderie that we've had for so long. Like, these are guys that I went to high school with. These are guys that I've been gaming since high school with. And it's just like, we lose that because the games that are released now aren't very good. And those that should be influencing the games to get better aren't really doing that. Right? If I had the voice that Tim the Tatman had, or Nick Merckx, or any of these guys that have millions of subscribers, I would not be supporting Call of Duty. I would not be allowing my likeness to be in the game. I would not be doing those things because I would try to make these franchises better. Now, obviously, it's easy for me to say when I have less than like 2,100 subscribers, but I would still hope that my integrity is the same even if I had 1 million subscribers. That's what I hope for myself. And yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm very disappointed in the content creator community for Call of Duty. I think they need to hold themselves to a higher standard. I think they need to stop just trying to spend, because it's hurting the game. It's hurting the quality of these games, and they're to blame. They're the ones to blame, and it's been an issue ever since the supply drop era, right? We've all watched supply drop videos. Heck, I even made a few myself that I regret now, but it was a thing. And it's a problem, and it's always been a problem, and now we have Battle Pass problems, and now we have microtransaction problems, and I just want Call of Duty to be better, man. That's all I want. But that's all the time I have for the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please hit a like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.